Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sim's YouTube channel, and welcome back to episode number 8 here on Elm Creek Farms. And thank you so much for returning for another show. Very much appreciated. I want to correct something that I had said in episode number 7, or correct a procedural thing. And really and truthfully, I should have trusted my own instinct when I was setting up the cow barn and putting the feed in. You may remember that I showed you, and we talked about the fact that I had all of the ingredients over here in the automated feeding compartment area. All of this had content in it. We had mineral feed, and the automatic robot was working. The automatic robot only delivers feeds on the hour, or each hour on the hour, and it only feeds a small amount. And so it takes a period of several hours before it would basically bring the feed level up to the maximum amount, which is 60,000 liters. That's the maximum amount of feed that you can put in this particular facility. When I set that up and it ran the first time, my cow productivity was like 10% or something. So I'm looking here, and even though I read this that said total mixed rations effectiveness 100%, my gut told me just leave it alone, Jerry. Don't mess with it. But no, I went ahead and went out and put some hay and some grass in it. Well, and I filled these up, so it had 60,000 total liters of food in the facility, and the productivity never increased because it never put enough total mixed rations in here to drive that productivity and health level up. So through the magic of editing XML files, I went ahead and removed some of the hay and grass out of here. We just lost that, but did go ahead and over time, as I fast forwarded through that particular evening or whatever, we got enough TMR in here to drive that productivity and health level up to 100%. So we're just going to basically make sure that we stock the items out here, make sure that's full of straw, silage, and hay, and then just let the thing do its thing. I did put straw in here for bedding purposes. You can put the straw in here. You'll get the added percentage increase that you get. I did not put down the manure heap because I don't really want to mess with manure. So we're just gonna pretend like we're hiring that job out, and we're not going to worry about it. That is sort of the flexibility that you get. You don't have to put straw in if you don't want to, and if you don't want to mess with manure, the after effect and everything, then you just don't put down the manure heap, and then you won't have to deal with that. We're gonna do a few things today to one field. Hopefully we'll get that done, and then catch you up on some of the stuff that has been going on with our farm since we were last together. It is November, and we're going to take the lime spreader up and lime our what used to be our soybean field, and then if time permits, and I think that it will, we will then come back and probably try to mulch that. Now I am running the manual attach mod, and get that going, get that going, and get that going. And then if you want to learn more about the manual attach mod, I did create a mod review, a 5-minute mod review for that particular mod, and you can get that information on my YouTube channel and just look for that manual attach mod review in the mod review um, video list. All right. So as I said, we have been super busy here on the farm, my dad and I. And as you can see, we have done some field um, combining, if you will. We're done with harvest. All the harvest is done for this particular year. And we have enlarged field number 1 over here to your left, and we have combined the 2 fields that were at the top there, just adjacent to our house, and then we have enlarged fields 4, 5, and 6, which were located here. We went ahead because the fields were in different states of maintenance, if you will. So, like in this example here, field 4 didn't need lime, field 5 needed lime and it needed to be plowed, and field 6 at the very bottom was, I think, okay on both of those accounts. But we went ahead and limed everything, plowed everything, rocked everything, picked up all the stones from all of these combined fields, and basically that way everything is at the same level. If it's a combined field, everything is at the same level, and I think that will just make things easier for us, because who wants to necessarily plow a middle section or line just the middle section when it comes, time to get these fields replanted and everything, or come around, next season, next fall, excuse me, next fall, and have to deal with those kind of things. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to take the advice of our. I did just a very small test down here at the bottom just to see if I could do this. We're going to take the advice of the county extension agent that I've been talking to uh, over uh, over well, with regards to, I'll get the words out here in just a minute, with regards to how we want to handle our field prep and everything for this next spring, and obviously late summer harvests. And some of the advice that they had given was, take advantage of mulching, drive that the roots, stalks, and everything of the harvested plant down into the soil. Get that advantage of that fertilization layer, and it helps just air the soil and everything as well. The problem is, with the game, anyways, is that you cannot lime if a field needs to be limed. You cannot lime after the mulch state. So if you want to mulch, and the field needs lime, and the field does not need to be plowed, then basically you need to lime, and then I think that we can come along afterwards and mulch. We'll just test that together and see if that is the case. But I had done two fields where I had attempted to basically mulch directly after I harvested, and the fields were such that they didn't need to be plowed, and so I couldn't spread lime after I had mulched. Now, if the field needs lime and it also needs to be plowed, then not a problem. Go ahead and mulch after harvest, then plow, and then put lime down and then cultivate. At least that's some of the advice that I have seen uh, posted out on YouTube and elsewhere, of some folks that have gotten a little further along um, with their harvesting and planting endeavors and everything than I have. But these fields turned out really, really great. I think that I don't think that we'll have a problem with the combine going up that hill. I started to extend fields. I think that's 2 and 3. I've started to extend those further down, but that's really pretty hilly area out there, and I think we'll just leave that as grass, so that we'll have grass to mow for hay. Hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful day. The coffee this morning is superb. It is a dark Italian roast this morning, and it is absolutely fantastic. All right, we'll go and drop off our fertilize spreader, and then we're going to pick up our mulcher. If I can remember where I placed that guy, I think it is over in the other facility. So just I'll tell you what, we'll just make things easy for ourselves, and we will just drop this tractor off, and we'll get in the fent and run the mulcher in the fent. Um, so I think I mentioned a few episodes ago about the possibility of wanting to basically take advantage of some additional space here on this piece of ground and put some more greenhouses in. Greenhouses seem to be the, and I think I said this before, greenhouses seem to be the cash crop for Farming Simulator 22, and we need to get more income coming in. There's no there's no two ways around that. And let's see, we need to, there we go. Get that PTO shaft hooked up. There's no two ways around it. We need to get a little more income coming in, and I think greenhouses are really the way to go for that. And why is this thing? Let's see. Well, it helps to lift it up, doesn't it, Jerry? All right, we're off. So greenhouses seem to be the cash crop, and lettuce, even though lettuce requires a lot more water than what it yields, we had looked at that a few episodes ago. Lettuce seems to just be selling hand over fist, and I think that we either will switch our greenhouses out to grow lettuce, or just build new greenhouses or more greenhouses and set those up for lettuce, because we need to get a little bit more daily income coming in, especially when it comes around the time for harvest, because we are going to need to hire more people. My dad has already said that he wants to slow down, um, and not work near as hard for me. I guess maybe I'm working too hard, and so we need to take that into consideration. And while with him gone, even though I do have a teenage son that lives here with us on the farm with us, still need to get some additional help. So we're going to go ahead and fire this guy up and see if we can mulch this. I don't know. This may looks like it's going to work. We are now mulching our previous crop, which was soybean, and the lime into it. And I think this kind of makes sense. A lot of people, just to get out of role play a little bit, and I know I bounce back and forth quite a bit, and but I like to tell you all what I learned with regards to the game mechanics, because many of you are watching this are either brand new to the franchise, so this was your first version of Farming Simulator, or you're somewhat on the fence to buying Farming Simulator 22. You're still playing 17 or 19 or 15 or all three, or a combination of the three, or even maybe further back than that. And so, I like to share information that I learned, so that you guys can make some educated decisions. So one of the top areas that people have been somewhat complaining about, at least on the Steam discussion uh, group, is because that's a little easier to consume than the Giants forum and some of that, is the fact that we can no longer uh, spread lime after you plant seeds, after you seed the ground. And I think that actually makes sense. While Farming Simulator 19, you could basically put lime down at any point in time in the process. I believe it makes sense the way that they have it configured now, and I hope that they don't change that, because I would think that if you had your field already planted or seeded, and you come along and you put lime just directly on top of the soil, for one, you don't want to cultivate that in because you're going to destroy your seed bed. And B, I would think that the lime, the what we use lime for the pH um, operation, would actually cause some potential damage to the seeds, and you wouldn't want that to be out there on the crop. So I like it the way it kind of is, and I think that as we're coming along after harvest, um, putting lime down because the field needs lime. The field does not need to be plowed, and we're coming in here and we're mulching in the lime to the soil. We're going to get the benefit, better benefit, I think, personally, from how the lime is going to interact with that soil over a period of time. And of course, we're talking about several months because this is November and we are done planting for the winter crops. So these fields will not get touched again until we come around for spring planting, and we still need to decide what that's going to be and where that's going to be. But yeah, so that's why I like to share that information with you and help you as best that I can. Now, another thing that I have been watching on YouTube is information about, just how valuable crops are, what the top valuable crop is, and essentially the whole calendar, the whole price-driven calendar within the game that is driven by seasons, the seasons functionality that's built into the game. And from what I have been told, or from what I have seen, and I trust the YouTube content creators that have put this information out here, if we bring up our schedule here, um, and we go to show price fluctuations, I am told that this is just utter nonsense, that this is not working at all, and basically none of this stuff means anything because people are seeing low prices for selling things in, say, the November timeframe where we are now, and high prices for selling things where it's showing that it should be rock bottom low, like in August. And so I think that that's part of the challenges, the opportunities, the bugs that Giants obviously is hopefully working through as we speak, and will put something out in the form of a patch in the coming uh, weeks. Hopefully, sometime before Christmas is what we have heard, even though that's not been officially stated by anyone at Giants. But I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense for them to work, work extra hard over the next couple of weeks and try to make that first patch as effective as possible and fix as many of these issues as they can. For some folks, the challenges that these bugs are creating for them are game breaking. People that want to play a more hardcore style of gameplay where they rely on the contracts to be able to build up their cash reserves and everything, can't finish harvesting contracts, can't finish baling contracts, and there's some other issues along the way. There's also issues with multiplayer. People are posting out on the Steam discussion group about buying, renting server with dedicated servers and everything, and not being able to play yet because that's a completely separate entity. They're having to pay the monthly rent on those servers, and because of the challenges that they're experiencing getting connected and other people getting connected, it's just kind of money that's down the drain, if you will. So hopefully, Giants will. Of course, I think they're working on the server issue, independent of some of these other game bug issues, and they have made some adjustments. And I think things have become a little bit better with the folks that are trying to play on servers. So hopefully that will continue to improve. And I think the issue, at least what I can sort of come up with in my mind, is that the especially the crossplay functionality, folks being able that are on console, interacting and playing with folks that are on PC. I think that was so overwhelmingly um, popular when the game first released that it just overwhelmed Giants. And perhaps we're talking about server capacity, um, data centers type capacity issues, and they just need to address that and hopefully add that capacity or better optimize it, or whatever is going to be required to bring about a more stable uh, environment for everyone that wants to take advantage of multiplayer gameplay. And they should probably try to do that hopefully before the Christmas holidays, because there again, that's going to be the next opportunity that people, especially students and everything, are going to have time to once again get back, get back into the game and want to hit it hard again. but we will see. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to finish this off camera. I most likely will also go ahead and mulch this other field adjacent to us. This was a sorghum field. It does not need to be plowed. It does not need lime, so I think we will just go ahead and mulch that in. I think the next time that we come together, we will be in the month of December, and we will see what all has happened in the course of that time frame. I may go ahead and use some of our funds to put some more greenhouses in, either over there or find a spot to put some. That way we can just increase our daily revenue. Um, and I need to think about what we're going to do to replace my dad, especially if he's wanting to take a less active role. He's even talked about moving to town. Um, he and want to move to town and basically give up the big house up there. So that may be something that if he's serious about that, then I may move my family up to the big house and either rent that house or whatever. Don't want to I don't want to necessarily demolish it. I might consider selling it if someone is willing to move it off premise. But so yeah, so that's all kind of stuff that's going on. My dad is a bit of a well, I don't really know how to describe him other than just saying that kind of once he gets an idea planted in his head, it's full steam ahead to go ahead and get that going. So he has said that the farming life is not for him. Sort of almost a reverse Green Acres, for those of you who are old enough to remember that show, kind of a reverse Green Acres effect where he is going to, I need to pick one side and go with it and then come back. But sort of a reverse Green Acres effect where he's done with the farming life and is ready to move back into the city for a less complicated life. I don't know how you get any less complicated by staying on a farm, especially you don't necessarily have to do anything, but I think he might feel guilty that if he stays and doesn't want to contribute to some of the work. And he's been a big help. I mean, he has really helped me get these fields combined and kind of moving things. We're really moving from the old into the new kind of style of farming because all of this was kind of set up the way that he and his father ran the farm, and so I've come along and looking at new ideas and wanting to maximize our efficiencies and combine some of these smaller fields into larger fields and take advantage of growing the crops that are going to be of our best interest. In other words, feeding the mill, feeding the bakery, and then obviously enhancing the greenhouse operations as we continue through the cycle of months and years on this map. All right, well, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it, and please like and subscribe if you're not, and that way, and click that little bell, by the way, as well, so you'll be notified when I release future videos. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go get another cup of coffee and do some more farm work here off camera, and I will speak to you all very soon right here on Elm Creek Farms. Take care. Bye-bye.